Oh, I see you are having an open house. Let me play for you the song of my people. It is beautiful! What is up, guys? I am Howie, and I'm taking a break from working on my KDX as it is just too beautiful a day today, and whatever I am allergic to is not yet blooming. It's not yet blooming, and so I'm going to come out here and do a quick moto vlog on my Ducati as I charge up the battery, so that way it doesn't sit for too long. At least that's what I told my wife. I'm going to talk about why I bought a Ducati. And, you know, those of you that have seen the videos, you know, I've seen the heartbreak and stuff. YouTube is, in fact, a social media site, and as with any social media site, you kind of have the opportunity to curate your life as you want others to see it. And there's a big bandwagon of people that poke fun at Ducatis, you know, for being unreliable and being maintenance whores. And I like to jump on that bandwagon from a bit of time. It's a little cultural meme in the Ducati world. But the reality of it is I love this bike. And I want to talk a little bit today about why I bought a Ducati. And the short answer is I really didn't know any better. But there's a lot more to it. So let's rewind back to my childhood. My father worked in the automotive industry, and you know, he worked basically his entire adult life doing something with cars, parts, finance, something, right? He was a car guy as a kid, and the zenith of a career in the automotive industry to him was a dealership. And so my father wanted a motorcycle dealer, a car dealership. He did not want a motorcycle dealership specifically. The problem is, with a car, each hunk of metal that is sitting on that lot is, you know, roughly, back then was like 17, or that's a cool car. It was roughly 17 or 18,000 bucks. And in order to secure floor line for a motorcycle dealership, you had to have a net worth or a backing of about $1 million. So my dad did not have a net worth of $1 million. And so his thought was, if I can't afford to floor line or to back a motorcycle or a car dealership, maybe I'll get a motorcycle dealership. Because every hunk of metal that sets on a motorcycle dealership, you know, is only $4,000 or $5,000. As I knew him, my father never had a bike. He sold his last bike, which was a Honda Magna, when I was like 2 years old, right after my brother was born. He was 33 years old, and he wasn't well networked in the industry, and so he would go to trade shows, and if I was good, which I usually was, I got to come along. As he would try to network and get a feel for the product lines and which manufacturers do what, I would climb all over everything, right? And my favorite bikes to climb all over and take posters home for were the Ducatis. The reason is because of the aggressive riding position, you just felt like you were a part of the bike. Like, that was so cool for me at 10 years old. Man, you just feel like you're tucked into this thing. You're part of the machine, you know. Of the few things that he knew of motorcycles at the time was like, yeah, you know, Ducatis, those guys they got all the really cool sport bikes. Fast forward a few years, when the Ducati 749 first came out in 2003, I was 15 years old. And so I was really, for the first time in my life, whoa, skiddage, developing a very acute consciousness, because I had always really liked cars and motorcycles. But I was really developing an acute consciousness of motorcycles, and this was a brand new Ducati superbike at the time. Started riding in college. With riding in college, my parents didn't want me to ride in college. Like, most parents don't want their children riding motorcycles. Out of respect for them, with them giving me significant financial assistance, I did not ever buy a bike of my own, right? I didn't want them helping me with books, and then I go blow $1,000 or $2,000 on a motorcycle. So it wasn't until after college did I purchase a bike of my own. And so I really wanted a super sport, right? Because, you know, until you actually start riding motorcycles when you're just an aspiring rider, even as a dirt biker, there's basically two kinds of bikes, right? Harleys and sport bikes, right? And I thought Harleys were dumb, and so I was like, I want a sport bike. And, you know, I had a concept of the super nakeds and all that kind of stuff, but I wanted a super sport. You know, like any car or motorcycle guy, I would peruse Craigslist pretty regularly, and one of my favorite search terms was Ducati. And I saw this bike come up. So I started corresponding with the guy. He's like, yeah, you know, it's not running right now, but I was like, okay. I went up with my pickup truck and bought the bike. Of all the struggles and, you know, the issues that I've had with this bike, and by struggle, I mean, that's absolutely first world problems, all right? This is just a minor annoyance, right? This is absolutely not any major life heartbreak, but it's really just a struggle of something that you would like to work that does not work. It's like channel clicker when the batteries are dying. For all the trials and tribulations that this bike has given me, I absolutely cannot imagine a future in which I don't hang up my leathers completely, that I don't have a Ducati in the stable. There's just something about the bike, the community, how it feels to be on it, that's just something special that I feel like you don't get in Japanese bikes. And if you have a Japanese bike and you're like, oh, why would anybody buy a Ducati? Ride one. And don't ride one around the block. Take one for a day. See how it feels and see how it makes you feel. And take a couple Motrin when you do. There's just something special about the bikes, and I don't know what the ingredient is in that special sauce. Whether it's the components, the riding position, the handling, the stability. There's something special about these bikes, and I really do love them. And as with anything, this is a very, you know, near and dear topic to my heart, and I think that you guys probably have a lot of stories as well, and I'd really like to hear those. I have a small channel, and I really do read every single one of the comments, so if you have a story, you know, about an emotional purchase or buying a bike that you absolutely love, I would love to hear about it. Post it in the comments. I will read it. I will reply. And once you're done doing that, get out there and go ride.